The public school system here, and I think it's an instrumental tool for the success of our young people. I think we all have to care and be involved, and my way of showing that I care is running for this position. I ask for your help in making this happen for the betterment of the community and for our children. Thank you. Adrienne Carter-Bowles.
Good evening, and thank you. And thank you to the World Changing Organization for this forum tonight and for all the visitors and guests here tonight. This audience looks like a very intelligent group, so I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm not here to insult your intelligence, but I want to ask you a question. I want to know deep down in your heart, do you know the difference between right and wrong? I want to do what's right. And what's right for me in this community is that we need to put our students and children first. They need to be the priority. We are now focusing on critical issues that I think is detracted from the goal of this school board, and that is to make sure our students are a priority. Together, we can fix that. Some of the issues that we have to address. Goals. You heard that. The superintendent not having goals in his contract. That's wrong. We have an individual who is a head of a major corporation. If you look at the school district as a corporation, it's $1 billion business. Every organization or every company that has a CEO that handles that much has goals. We need to establish those goals. We need to make sure that there's accountability. We need to make sure that we judge those goals to ensure that they're being met. That's the right thing to do. We have issues with our budget. You're going to hear that constantly throughout tonight. We have to look at our budget as a whole. Our budget, and what's happening in most companies and organizations where you're losing and having a deficit, the first thing you do, you take a look and you equalize and have that deficit spread out among all departments and among all line items. Same thing you would do in your household budget. When you start to lose income, you start to look at places where you can cut, and cut a little bit here, a little bit there, so that you don't take away from the entire process that you do. We need to do the same. That would be the right thing to do. There's other issues in the budget that I'm sure we'll get to tonight as it relates to the privatization and those kinds of issues that I'm sure there'll be questions on that we will address. The third thing I think we really got to focus on is we ought to be concerned about our accreditation. It's wrong that we are now in our second year of being warned for our accreditation. We as school board members need to make that right. The impact it can have on our students is devastating if we actually lose accreditation. We need to make that right. Together we can make that right. And if you believe it's right, then I hope you'll vote for me so that I can do the right things for you. My name is Joe Paterno, and I'm running for School Board District 4.
Mr. Smith.
Thank you for having this forum, World Changing Florida. My name is Gary Smith. I'm a long-term resident of Collier County, graduate of Naples High in 1960. My daughter was a graduate of Lady High in 1990. I've been an independent businessman here for over 40 years as a commercial fisherman, wholesale dealer, retailer. I serve on the board for Organized Fishermen of Florida. We deal with all issues pertaining to salt and freshwater with commercial and recreational fishermen and environmental issues. I've testified before the governor and cabinet, before the Fish and Wildlife Commission numerous times. I know what it takes to get the job done. We need change. We need to get back to the basics of children first and common sense government. And that's what we need. We've got to get the board members and the superintendent working together to get our school system accredited and get our budget back where it needs to be and get back to teaching our children and getting the education they need because they're the leaders of our country. We can't do this the way the board's going now. They don't work together. They don't work with the superintendent. The superintendent or the board have set goals. And that will be my job to make sure that the board works together and works with the superintendent to set the goals to put Collier County school system where it needs to be, the #1 school system in the state of Florida. Thank you.
having me tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to share my views with you. My name is Julie Sprague. I am a 30-year career teacher. I'm still employed at Gulf Coast High School. I have taught 20 years in Collier County. I taught 10 years at Immokalee High School. And as I said, I'm still at Gulf Coast High School now. So I have a different perspective on things than the other candidates. I know the demographics of this county. I know how students in Immokalee have differences that kids at Gulf Coast High School do not have. And we cannot put them all in one basket. We have to treat them differently. Each school has its own unique demographics and constitution, and we need to make sure that we're addressing those issues on an independent level, school level. I have a history of leadership. I lead by example. I decided when I made the decision to run for school board that I would qualify to have my name put on the ballot by petition. That means that I had to go out into the community and get 1,862 signatures, qualified voters in Collier County, to have my name placed on the ballot. Every other candidate that's sitting up here tonight paid a $1,449 fee. So I saved the campaign about $1,500, and I also had the incredible opportunity of speaking to actually over 2,000 individuals who signed the petitions. So I got their views. I listened to what they were saying. And that was a very important piece in understanding where I'm going with this campaign and what I want to do when I get on the school board. I go to board meetings. I have gone to board meetings for 20 years. I have served on superintendent's committees. I've served on board-appointed committees. The two incumbents will tell you that I email them quite frequently and get up and speak at board meetings when I see things going in a direction that I don't think benefit children. I have the ability at this point, I believe, to walk into the role of school board member with a true understanding of the issues and where we stand right now. The budget is a huge, important item that we need to address. I went to the board meeting last Thursday where we addressed the budget, and there were 5 people in the audience. I think that's a shame. And we need to make sure that people understand the budget. I served on the Fiscal Advisory Committee, so I've been watching the budgets for the last 5 years and have a true understanding of that. I appreciate, again, the opportunity to speak to you. Thank you for having me. My name is Julie Sprague.
Who is Mark Swanson? Why should I run for school board? I'm a parent of 3 children that have gone to the Collier County schools or are still in the Collier County schools. I've taught high school for 17 years in Collier County schools and in Miami in private schools. And thirdly, I'm a businessman now for the last 8 years selling sporting goods to all of Southwest Florida's counties and half of Miami, dealing with school budgets and county budgets on a daily basis. So I have a very good understanding of the constraints they're under. What I look at are there's 2 major issues in this election, and I think what we need to do is start moving forward and start thinking outside the box a little bit. I don't think we can continue the way we've been going for the last 13 years I've lived here. It just doesn't work. So let's move forward. How do we do that? We need to be more communicative. The public needs to be put back in public education. How do we do that? The school board gets out. If I were in office, I would go to PTO meetings. I would go to SAC committee meetings. I would go to homeowners association meetings, civic association meetings, and find out what our vision as a community is for the education of our students. This is the most important thing we do as a society, is to educate our young people because they're the future. We need to get out and talk, and then we go back and communicate that information, and then we go back again, and we have that continued open dialogue throughout the year and throughout the next 4 years if I were in office. Secondly, it's the budget. Everybody talks about it. The Florida Education Financial Plan has basically handcuffed the education system of Florida. There is no way to be better than mediocre because of the way they distribute the funds and how they determine the required local effort. There's no way to do it. We need to create revenue. We can't go look at the budget. It's not going to make a difference 82% of the general fund goes to teachers' salaries and benefits. It only leaves 18% to be redistributed. It's not going to create any other issues. So I'm saying let's create some revenue. We are a capital-rich community. If we reduced our capital millage rate by 1 for 4 years, and we put on the ballot, all right, a levy for a 1 mil increase in our general fund, not increasing anybody's taxes, but just making a swap, and it'd have to be on the ballot as a levy, we would create over $70 million more dollars for our general fund while still putting $70 million in our capital fund. You do that for 4 years, that's almost $300 million on both sides. We don't need to build new schools right now. We have declining enrollment. Let's move forward. Let's think outside the box a little bit and start moving in a different direction.